You are, it seems, a man of many skills. A rare combination.
Approximately, how much do you make a week?
Alrighty, guys. So what's good? I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope life is ripping for you guys, because, man, life always rips, right? That's the motto. Life rips. So I'm going to break down two stocks for you today. We got Mmed and Mtrx. I think we got some great opportunity coming here. So I want to break down what is happening in these stocks. Anybody could go tell you, hey, this is going to go high in the future. I want to show you why is it going to go higher in the future. Like, what's happening with the buyers and the sellers in this market, because they're trying to tell you a story. Like, this chart is telling you a story. So I'm going to break this down for you guys. All right. We got here a demand zone. It came up. And if you haven't seen my video, we had a volume climax scenario. I have a video explaining on why this correction happened. It's called a volume climax. We have a massive run to the upside. And as you could see, there's a good sign of bull volume coming in, right? So there's lots of buyers. Well, the buyers are going to reach a climax, right? It's going to hit a point where you run out of buyers. So what happens after that is there's a correction. Now, as you can see, this is a healthy correction. Let me explain why. When this happens, sure, it might make a very large pullback of 50%, but as you can see, it made a move upward of like over 230%. So a 230% move, if it draws back 50% and holds, that's healthy. So as you can see here, it comes down, breaks the trend, makes a higher low, but it makes a lower high, and then it makes a lower low. So it changes the trend. It was going higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher low, lower high, lower low. So as you can see, the trend changes up here, right? But as you can see, this stock is playing around in this range. Now, why is that happening? What this stock was doing was it was creating a range. We have a supply zone and we have a demand zone. So why is this a supply zone and why is this a demand zone? So a demand zone is where you expect there to be buyers, right? And a supply zone is where you expect there to be sellers. And as you could see, that's exactly what happened. Every time this stock came down to the demand zone, it got bought up from this level. And every time it came back to the supply range, it got pushed down a little bit, right? A good sign to see at a demand zone is big wicks, just like this. Big wicks. These wicks are telling you that there is a rejection of sellers and that the buyers are in control in that range. So this is what you want to see. So because I seen it was playing in this range, I was gathering a bunch of shares, right? So now I'm holding a bunch of shares here. Now what happens with a supply or demand zone is similar to this analogy. When you knock on a door once, someone might not hear you, twice, sure. But if you keep knocking on that door, right, it's going to eventually open. Someone's going to be like, oh, hey, dude, what do you want? Well, this is what happened here. We knocked on the supply zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite a few times, right? You get the idea here. We knock on the supply zone so many times, well, it's going to give soon. It makes a low to the demand zone, a higher low in this range, and then she breaks through the supply zone. This is perfect, man. This is what we want to see. As you can see here, we have another small supply zone. So what I'm expecting to happen on Mmed, we could just continue to run upward, and that would show you that there's a large amount of buyers coming. So if it does go, you're going to see another big candle, bull volume candle, and we might break right through that supply zone. But I don't think that is going to happen. What I think is going to happen is it's going to stall a little bit in this supply zone that we have here, and it might make a pullback to retest this previous supply zone to make sure it is now a demand zone. So stocks like to do this. They break through supplies and then they retest the supply and make sure it's a demand. You could think of this as support and resistance, right? It might break through this resistance zone, right? But it'll eventually try to come back and test it to make sure it is now support, right? So that would be a healthy sign. So if that happens, I think this puppy is going to go for a massive run. As you can see here, the bear volume is completely dropped off on this stock, right? All the sellers, the volume, it's telling you a story, this stock. It's basically telling you, hey, we're running out of sellers, and now it looks like there's buyers who are ready to come in and get this stock to go. Now we have $6.47 as our highs. So if we end up going there, that's already like a 40% move depending on where you get in, right? Like almost 100% move if you got in from this demand zone. Well, it depends how you're looking at it, right? You could hold this for a week, 2 weeks. What happens if you want to hold this long term? Well, you got to go back and do a little bit more technical analysis. So I'm going to show you guys the tool I use. It's called the Fibonacci extension tool. We're going to mark it from the low to the high of this move, and then it's going to retrace back, and we're going to put the third point at the furthest pullback point. And when we do that there, the first target we have is around $7.89. Now, if it goes up to that level, you will see that that's around 100% gains, which is pretty good. Like, hey, if you want to double your money, this is giving you a potential opportunity to say so. Is that going to happen? No, it's not necessarily a guarantee, but I don't know. The stock is giving us very good signs that there could be some upside coming in the future. So that's the first one I'm going to break down, Mmed. Next, we have Mtrx. This is another one that I'm really liking here. So as you can see, similar situation, right? It comes down, maybe not supply and demand zones, but it's creating a wedge pattern where it's basically telling you we're playing in this range. You see what I'm trying to say? Now, similarly to Mmed, if you look here, we're completely running out of sellers. The bear volume is dropping off. This is a bullish sign. We want to see this. Now, another bullish catalyst I think is happening here is these 3 candlesticks. We got a doji candlestick. That's telling you there's indecision in the market. It opened, it pushed up, pushed down, came back to the same spot it opened at. That happened 1-2 days in a row. So it's telling you the people in this stock, are the investors in this stock, are indecisive. But it's holding up these levels, making higher lows, as you could see. Like, it's bullish, man. Like, in my opinion, this is bullish. If it doesn't happen to break this wedge bull tomorrow, I think tomorrow's the day. We might get the day tomorrow. If not, then we'll have to go and see next week. If it happens to break bear, then hey, we're wrong, right? It happens, but it's looking pretty good. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's holding up around these levels, making higher lows. And this last candlestick here, I'm going to zoom in, is a hammer, which means it opened at this level, it pushed down, but then the buyers were in control. They bought it right back up to that level. Now, what I'm expecting to happen tomorrow is there to be an increase in bull volume, and we want to see a candlestick that looks something like this. Boom, a nice big one, and then maybe 2 in a row. 2 big bull candlesticks to break out of this wedge. That is a signal that there is higher prices to come. Now, where's the range we're playing in, right? It made highs of 298. So if you happen to get in here and it goes up, that's a 58% move. Like, that's for the short term. Now, if this happens to continue to run, and this was just a consolidation phase and it continues to run, I use the Fibonacci extension tool here, which I'll show you guys one more time. We use the Fibonacci extension tool and we mark our low of the move to the high, and then where the fullest retracement back is, and which is around $1.57. So $3.85 is the first target on the Fibonacci extension tool. Is it a guarantee it's going to get there? No, it's never a guarantee, but I do really like what I'm seeing here. It's showing us a lot of potential. We got opportunity on these charts. So I'm hoping you guys like this video today. Comment down below if you want me to go over any other stocks that you're interested in. I love breaking down the stocks because who knows, man, we might find even more opportunity, right? So cheers, guys. I hope this was helpful. And let's see if these hit our targets. If they do, then hey, your boy's going to be making some dough. So I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. Cheers, guys.